Now, I had to ask myself, where is Africa on this map? Can you find it? I'll give you a second to look. Alright, time is done. Look closer towards the California area. If you don't know where California is, I'm about to show you. California is right here, right? Where is Africa? They have been lying to us this whole entire time, and I feel like a superhero right now because I am about to save the world. Everything is walking distance from us, including Africa, and we can all meet up with each other and meet here in the middle, and here's how. Now, I seen Anyan on that map in the top west side of the map. It said Anyan. Now, originally, right, the Strait of Anyan was the line that shows the separation or the political lines between America and Asia, right? And so I said Anyan, right? Africa, Anyan, Africa. So I typed that in. Look what came up. Asian Africans. Asian African is a significant population of people with Asian descent in Africa. And so I've never heard the Asian African term before, and so it put me down a rabbit hole. Because Asian Africa sounds that Asia is close to Africa. And so I had to look at this modern map to see where the deception is coming from. And so when you see here, this is Africa right here, right? Look that Asia is only this amount of distance from them, right? If you look at and take away all of these political lines, you will see that this is all one land, right? And you will see that you can literally walk from Africa to Asia in a short amount of distance. But this is where I cracked the code, you guys, is because Africa and Asia and America are all connected. Let me show you. You see, I always had a theory that we were still on one massive landmass and that they are flooding certain places to make it look like water is separating them from the next continent or the next big country or etc. When in fact, the water is just an illusion to make them think the world is bigger than what it is and that people are more spread out than what it is. But that's not the reality. The reality is we live all on the same landmass, and the government in the world is hiding that so they can keep us separated, so that way they can govern us, steal from us, and keep us at a lower level vibration so that way we don't stand up and break the matrix, right? We see here that Africa and Asia are touching at Egypt. Let me say that again. Africa and Asia are touching at Egypt. There's no separation because the Suez Canal supposedly didn't exist yet. So that means then that the world is on a one giant landmass, often called the Old World or Afro-Eurasia. Afro-Eurasia. That's telling me that Tartaria was ran by Afro people, and that our world was taken over around the 1600s when they started including clones and wild men into our society. And they wonder why everything is in a reverse state of mind, being, and consciousness right now. It's because the world is flipped, our maps are flipped, and they lied about everything. Africa ends at Egypt's northeast. Egypt begins across the Sinai Peninsula. These two continents meet at a point. Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia. All of these places are in America. All of these people get rich off of us. They are filthy rich because we are dumb Americans. And the moment that you figure out your geography, you will be able to get your riches back is because none of these places are foreign. None of these airplane trips that you're taking are far. They're just going in circles in the sky. And so now I found Africa. This is Africa. This is why they say on the modern maps, Africa gets smaller and smaller and pushed further and further away, when in reality, Africa and Asia is one fucking continent, you guys. You can see Africa right here. You can see where they broke it off. You can see that in the Bible, this is the Red Sea that split, and how they walked from America to Africa. You got to understand that this is why you can walk from the Grand Canyons to Africa, because this map proves that we all live on one land and they are aligned. And so now when you look at this map in its entirety, right, you'll realize that, Africa is here, Asia is here, California is here. What we think is America is really Mexico. Florida takes up this whole side right here, including parts of South America, because Uruguay also has a Florida city. And if you turn the map around, it'll show that Florida is in the north. So Florida is North Israel, right? We can literally walk from North Florida, Israel, to the back half of Israel, right? So if we keep walking, the Grand Canyons is about right here. So when they say you could take the Grand Canyons and get into the back of Africa, you can't. Because if I continue to walk, even if I cross here into California, if you keep going up from California, you are going to run into Africa. All of this over here is Africa. That means then that north of us is Asia. They lie to us completely. Canada is somewhere way over here. But they had to lie to us about our geography in order to control the gods. The 50 states is an illusion. You're not really in the 50 states that they're trying to say. You are in Mexico, which means then that all of those Spanish people that they're rounding up to try to say that they aren't from here are clearly from here, right? It's the white people that don't know the true history. They are the outsiders. They are the clones. They came into our world to try to kick out the indigenous people so that way they can feel good about themselves, when in reality, they're the ones that need to be kicked out. They're not indigenous to the land like the Mexicans. And when we realize that Russia has to be somewhere over here, we are really connected to Russia through Asia. All of this is one landmass, so there's no such thing as foreign goods. We are paying extra taxes for shit that's making other people rich. We gotta start mass producing our own shit. This is why Trump keeps sending billions of dollars to himself and billions of dollars across the world. It's because the whole world is in on the thievery of Mexico. But Africans, you guys can play a pivotal part in breaking the matrix, because all it takes is us to come together in a world. You have to understand your geography. Once we understand that, now we could talk to the ether that's around us. Now we can be able to meet up as gods again and meet up at the center, because now the whole world can walk to each other. We don't need the government. We can do this shit ourselves.